additions or deletions to the agenda? Or are we okay with what we've got for tonight? Okay, roll call. Okay. Rise for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next, we have approval of the June 27th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
Move approval.
Support.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, we've passed the minutes. Move down to requests for purchase. The first is consideration of a resolution to approve a request for purchase to Robinson Electric in the amount of $28,560 for pump valve replacements at wastewater lift stations 9 and 10.
Move approval.
Support.
Any discussion or background?
Yep, these are lift stations that service the subdivision in Arcata Township. And the next one will also be for the same subdivision and same lift stations. As you see in the note, that the costs of these repairs and upgrades will be reimbursed by Arcata Township.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Yes. Any opposed? Okay, we have approved that. Consideration of a resolution to approve a request for purchase to County Line Power in the amount of $26,520 for electrical upgrades at wastewater lift stations 9 and 10. And as Eric mentioned, both of these projects costs with lift stations 9 and 10 will be reimbursed by Arcata Township.
Move approval.
Support.
All those in favor? Are any questions, or we're good?
Okay.
You'll alert me if you have any questions.
Yeah.
All those opposed? Okay,
All those in favor?
we did that one. Yeah,
I missed that one.
That's okay.
Thank you so much.
I wasn't babbling about the questions after that. Okay, so we've approved both of those. The third item we have for consideration of a resolution to approve a request for purchase to Fishbeck in the amount of $10,613 for conceptual design services for security upgrades to entrances at the water treatment plant and the wastewater treatment plant.
Move to approve.
Support. Yep, this is our ongoing effort to secure our buildings. Obviously, water and wastewater are important ones to secure also, from the standpoint of obviously potable water, and then there's issues that could happen too if someone couldn't get access to the wastewater treatment plant. Especially right now, we haven't made the conversion yet to chlorine gas, to the chlorine as opposed to the chlorine gas. This would be half of it. It's a $21,226 project total for both the water plant and the wastewater plant. Gobble will cover half of it, which is $10,613, and then the wastewater treatment enterprise fund will cover their other half of $10,613. So.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we've approved that. Down to agreements. Consideration of a resolution to approve change order number 1 to the contract with McGirt Sand Gravel Incorporated for the downtown parking lots improvement project in the amount of $34,874 to cover additional costs for required sanitary sewer improvements.
Move approval.
Support. Yep, just as it says there, this sewer line runs back on lot number 2 between the alley that runs east and west between Woodworth Avenue and Gratiot Avenue. These are spot repairs, and obviously when you're in there tearing that stuff out, this needs to be replaced. no matter who we would have as a contractor, we would have a change order to do this work anyway. We expect most likely 2 more change orders with McGurk on this project. One being some curb spot repairs, and then a change order to include the storm drainage, lack of a better word, a relief line from parking lot 4 and 8, which is back behind the Opera Block. A storm connection between that parking lot across Woodworth Avenue to connect into the storm drain in this alley in lot 2 to alleviate the stormwater that seems to be accumulating there and not moving out fast enough. This will help take care of that. So that will be coming most likely at our next meeting, but depending on how quickly they move with the project, I may be reaching out to the commission to give me permission to go ahead and sign off on that to continue the work, but we'll see what their schedule looks like, but we'll be in touch with that.
So this was a cost that they anticipated would probably be, but they couldn't know exactly what it was until they had gotten in there?
Yes, so basically when it went out for bid, we knew there was something there, but until that stuff, those pipes got televised to know exactly what issues need to be repaired. So they came in, you basically go out and request an extra, an addendum basically is what this is, to do that work. And the same thing with that, the storm drain, the storm relief valve from lot 4 and 8. It's just, we're gonna have that stuff all open. It's the right time to kind of get that done, but we'll be back with that at some point. So.
And that's that'll be a step drain as well, right? It'll be a relief, so it won't be the primary.
It's not the primary, no.
Okay. And then is there, for their sewer work, is the price per foot similar to what their other projects have been, Dave, or has it been? I just want to make sure we're not overpaying just because they know we can't use someone else. I want to make sure that price per foot is very similar to what, I mean, they're doing the work on Iowa and then a lot, so we should have a pretty good frame of reference.
It's the same size pipe, same exact pipe. We are paying more for it simply because there's not as much of it. It's spot repairs. So is it relational? It's still in the ballpark, but it is significantly more simply because it's not an entire run of sanitary, it's spot repairs. So that'd be the difference in this one.
Which, for the overall cost of the project, this is the more reasonable way of getting it done
for sure.
Than putting in a brand new line the whole entire way. So.
Anything else?
Sorry, I added a little extra to that, but just so you know that what's coming.
No, that's great.
Yep, and as Eric mentioned, there'll be likely 2 more changes. Relief storm and then decorative concrete work between the Strand and that alley. That will be another change order likely coming to on that project as well.
Has there been a plan? I noticed the signage that was there. Has there been a plan to replace the supposed to be the concrete pillar or the block pillar that's there with the sign on top of it? I didn't know. I know talking to Dave, not you.
Oh, you're talking about the lot number.
Yeah, lot number 2.
No, that's not a part of this.
Okay. This is not in this project.
I know it was currently and they were there. I didn't know if they were taking it out or leaving it. So
right now it's being left. Right now it's being left.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have approved that change order. Excuse me, it's the allergies, asthma.
Do you need some water?
Would you like some water?
Yeah, great, thanks.
I like that alliteration, asthma, allergies, and air quality. Very poetic way to describe it.
Yeah, I don't like it too much, but yeah. Thank you very much. Okay, we can move down to reports.
I move to receive 1 through 5.
support.
Okay, so we're receiving Parks Committee, Alma Police Department, June 2023 report, Alma Transit, June 2023 ridership report, and the Alma District Fire Board, June 28th, 2023 draft meeting minutes. And then we're going to receive those. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's all 5. The finance one.
Oh, you want the finance as well?
Sorry.
Okay,
I might have said 1 through 4, but I meant 1 through 5.
Okay,
Sorry.
so Michelle added the finance fourth quarter fiscal year 2023 report. Okay, all those in favor of receiving those 5 reports?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we have received those, and then we have the city manager's newsletter.
Move to receive.
Support.
All right, very short report tonight. Our master planning, we've been talking about that for a while. We did meet with a subcommittee of some folks from around the county. We did a couple interviews with the 2 RFPs that Greater Gratiot received for the master planning. One was obviously the one we ended up choosing, which is CIB Planning Community Image Builders LLC out of Fenton. And we also did receive a proposal from Spicer Group. So the group unanimously decided to go forward with CIB. From my perspective at the city of Alma, I did meet with some representatives from the consultant and Casey Zanier from Greater Gratiot to talk about our needs beyond just the countywide master planning portion that we'll be a part of. And it was a good discussion. We spent about an hour. From our talk, it sounds like we'll be able to do a little more work with our Alma Spires plan that we've already started up again, and use that for our economic development plan. And then go more in depth with our master planning as part of the countywide for the city of Alma, specifically hitting on the downtown, the Northtown, Riverfront, and Jerome Hoffman Road. From there, we should be in very good space to be able to get RRC certified, which is Redevelopment Ready Community Certified, and at the highest level. The reason why we want to do it at the highest level, there's a couple grant opportunities for development that, if we do find the right developer and project, that would make it much easier to make a project work. But I don't have a cost yet from them. They said it'd be about a couple weeks to get us what extra that may cost for us to do those extra meetings and for them to develop that. One of the nice things that I saw from this group and what we learned from them during the interview process was, at the end of this, we'll have not just a plan to put on our we'll have a plan that we can use as a marketing branding tool to start moving forward with actual putting development plans into place with working with developers, as opposed to having just a document there. So I'm excited about getting that up and running, and that should be happening sometime in September with our first meetings on the countywide level. So, but it's hopefully before our next meeting on July 25th, I'll have some numbers to bring back to you. We did budget around $25,000 for planning purposes this year. Hopefully we don't need to use that, but we do have that budgeted for this fiscal year. The airport transition, the County Board of Commissioners did approve the resolution to accept the 5 other municipalities to withdraw from the former airport authority, and then that acknowledged that they would be the sole member of the new authority. So that was approved at their last meeting. Also at the meeting, they went through the articles of organization and the new bylaws that would be approved by the new authority board, which would be the members of the Board of Commissioners from the county. Under the articles of organization, we talked about a couple of items that we'll make modification to before that the new authority approves them. One would be under number 5, the Airport Advisory Board would specify that the City of Alma would appoint a board member to that advisory board. And then under number 8, the budget, the current articles have our fiscal year in there, so they just change it to the county's fiscal year. And just to clean it up a little bit so the county doesn't have to worry about when elections happen, that whoever the chairperson is of the Gratiot County Board, that they're the chairperson of the Airport Authority, and the county clerk would serve as their secretary. The two documents that we would need to approve at our next meeting, and Chris is going to take them to his board at the next meeting, and then July 18th is their next meeting, is the land lease and asset exchange agreement. Under that agreement, like we've discussed, the city of Alma and Gratiot County will basically be leasing our lands that we own out there to the Airport Authority for the purposes of maintaining an airport. No land changes hands. It's everything that we discussed. And then from the asset portion of it, the buildings, runways, fuel tanks, all those things that are used for the airport will be turned over to the new Airport Authority for maintenance of the airport also. And then the other agreement is an interlocal agreement for us, the city of Alma, to supply our municipal services for a period of time as they transition the operation to the county, be it the financial, PW, Public Works type things. After Chris and I talked, we're looking at in that agreement from 3 months to 6 months that transition would happen. But in the agreement, it does give us leeway if the county and the city talk, that we can either shorten it or lengthen it too. So it does give us that. But we thought 3 months to 6 months would be a good time period to shoot for. So. Yeah, so if that all being equal, we'll bring that back to our next meeting on July 25th for approval. The county will have just how meetings fall, their meeting on July 18th, and they'll hold their first Airport Authority meeting at that date also, and approve the Articles of Incorporation and the bylaws for the new authority. So we're moving right along, and as you read through it, if you did see anything or had some questions about something, let us know. But Chris has asked the county commissioners also if they had issues, but I think everyone's read this over, and everyone's been very diligent about looking at them, and like I said, even when we discussed this last week down at the county commission meeting, making sure that we had those pieces in there we all discussed. So we're almost there with it.
Good, thank you.
And just some maybe not fun things, but I think it's a fun things. The fire board, we did approve at our last meeting a new pumper from Frontline Services. The brand truck is a Rosenbauer, and I'm just learning about these different fire trucks. So this is a Rosenbauer truck. They've been around a very long time. We do have one Rosenbauer on our fleet right now too. We did receive four quotes in, which was good to see, since we've spent so much work being done out there. Trucks are not cheap. This pumper came in at $943,933. It'll take just under 2 years to complete. This will replace either pumper 4 or pumper 3, where they still haven't really decided on which one that will replace. One's older than the other, but one functions. Has more functions for what we need here than the other one does. So this particular truck, what's great about the extra capacity for water, pumping capacity for the amount of gallons you can throw out, turning radius. There's the clean cab technology that's come about that filters out the smoke that comes off these. That they work the levers and everything they need to do from the inside as opposed to being outside the engine, which is safer and cleaner for lungs breathing in and out of things. But that being said, just the sheer cost of things that have gone up has drove up the cost of.
And we're locked into that rate, even if it's expensive in 2 years.
Yes, we're locked into that, and actually looking at the numbers that we got, we were very fortunate, I think, to get a truck of this quality at that price. The high-end bid that came in was 1.1, almost 1.2 million. So for that truck, so we'll see that in a couple of years.
So since you said they were deciding still which one So what do we do with the one that they decide
Well, engine
to replace?
engine 4 is a little newer, but the turning radius and the pumping capacity is not what engine 3 is.
But we
engine-
don't keep them off, it's
No,
going to be
one's
replaced.
going to be replaced,
Okay,
either
so
engine 3 or 4.
the one that's
will go.
replaced, where does that go?
We'll try to sell it.
Oh, okay.
We'll try to sell it, but as we talked about at our last fire board meeting, the requirements from MIOSHA or other state agencies like that are ratcheting up what the requirements are and what you need to have. So we hope we can find someone that would be willing to purchase one or the other. But we'll see how that kind of plays out. But
Is there a timetable in which, obviously we got 2 years until the other truck's done. Is there a timetable in which we want to sell that? And if so, is there a timetable in which some of those requirements will be issued and whether or not a truck can be grandfathered in? So if someone purchased it prior to those regulations taking place, they could grandfather the truck in versus if they bought that truck new. See what I'm saying? I don't want to wait 2 years and have some of those regulations hit us and now that truck basically has no market.
yeah, that's a very good point. I've checked into that, Dan. I don't know. That's a very good point.
But we can't turn it over to anybody until we've,
Got our new truck.
Right.
Yes, yep. And that's kind of the predicament
Right.
we are in.
Right.
We have this engine 3, which is our older truck, but it functions much better for what the firefighters need and want. 4 is newer, but it doesn't do what 3
What they
can do.
need,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it's one of those things. And then, along with the Alma Fire District, I'd like to wish and congratulate, thank Chief Harold House for 50 years of service to the Alma Fire District in one way or another. He's been our fire chief at least for the last almost 12 years, and before that was lieutenant and so on. And like we mentioned when we thanked Jack Snyder, the fire district has been around in some form or another for 150 years. So these guys have been around for a third of it, so in one way or another. So we thank Harry for that, and it's quite an accomplishment. So that's all I have for now.
okay. So all those in favor of receiving the city manager's newsletter, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. We'd like to pay the appropriations.
Move to pay the appropriation.
Support.
Okay, any questions or concerns?
No.
Okay.
Any?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we will pay the appropriations. Okay, commissioners' comments or reports? Dan?
Just congratulations to Harold. I've worked on the fire board with him a few times. He's definitely a wealth of knowledge, so congratulations to him. I guess congratulations, or I don't know how to phrase that. 50 years is a long time. That's a long time to do it, so that's it. Thank you.
Lori?
Also, congratulations to Harold, that's awesome. Also, tonight is the first of the Evening in the Park with GCP. It has some singers singing at Wright Avenue tonight, so it starts at 7, so hope people can get out and support them. And best of luck with that.
Michelle?
Just congratulations to Harold.
Anything?
Nothing else from me, Madam Vice Mayor, thank you.
Just my thanks to Chief House as well. I appreciate anyone willing to semi-volunteer for these 50 years things. Yes, so thanks. Okay, is there anyone in our community that would like 5 minutes to speak? Okay, all those in favor of adjourning the meeting? Oh, a motion to adjourn the meeting, yes, we need motion and
Move
support.
to adjourn the meeting.
Support.
And all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you.